Hi, Marina, the Soul Alchemist. It's time to pick your own card. Weekly guidance for the 13th through to the 19th of October. And this week, I thought we would do something a little bit different again. And we are going to look at chords. So, the card reveal for this week, and I would encourage you to listen to all of the cards so that you can get all of those chords released and dissolved. But the cards that you specifically focus on are going to be the ones that are prevalent. So we've got chords that can connect to people, they can connect to old traumas and situations or circumstances that you keep going back to, you keep remembering. You kind of somehow get drawn back to that. And that is just showing you that there is unresolved energy and potentially attachment that can be released via the chord. And it can also be connected to old workplaces, old jobs, old careers, and locations, old homes, old places that maybe, again, there was something that wasn't a specifically pleasant experience. And there's something key about that environment, about that particular location or place that, again, there's a chording there that could be released. So chords, let me just give you a little bit of information about chords. Chords are ties, threads, or links that we have with others, single or groups. I've already said experiences, also locations or jobs that no longer support us. Quite often they have been created in a low vibrational energy, action or emotion such as fear, anger, hate, or manipulation. That's not the full expanse, the kind of extent of that. It could be more. We can form these with anyone that we come into contact with and are creating positive or negative chords all of the time. Chords do not have any length limit. They can stretch anywhere, and chords drain our energy. And we can also be influenced by the other person's emotional state. So that's if it's connected to a person. If it's connected to an experience, then obviously whatever is involved in that experience is going to be the emotional drain there. And if it's a career or a work location or a kind of a place, then again, you've got the emotional attachment there that is chorded. And whatever the emotional state was when the chord was created, that will be the thing that is being upheld. So you're going to pick your cards. We're using the Akashic Oracle card deck, which is a modality in a box. So you can see that the deck is here. I've also got one here. And it also comes with a masterclass, and it comes with a key to support you with activating karmic healing and also installing alignment frequencies, success anchors back into the records. Okay, so if you want to tune into cards 1, 2, or 3, I'm going to reveal which chord is not supporting you. And when I give this reveal, it's going to kind of give you an indication of maybe the behavior or the beliefs that is still being upheld. So that gives you information then to kind of locate potentially who the person is or the situation, etc., etc. And you know what? If you're not sure, at least you've got some idea of what is being kind of still demonstrated by you. And then when you come to do the chord release, which I'm going to link a meditation at the end, an Akashic healing meditation for that, and I will put it in the comments below as well. You can just state before the meditation starts, this is the type of chord that I want to release that is upholding or this particular behavior or belief or memory, whatever it might be. And you can state that before you do the meditation, and then your higher self and your guides will ensure that whatever is relative to that chord, it will be brought forward. And if it's for your highest good, it will be released. And, you know, you don't need to know the specifics. It's just, you know, you're just stating an intention and then allowing your guides and your team in spirit to support you. So the bonus card is an additional chord that gives you direct insights to where that is Interrupting flow, perhaps, is creating challenge in your life. So that's a specific kind of focus that is the additional bonus. Okay, so if you pick card 1 as your main card for the chord, so you're looking for people, circumstances, situations, locations, past jobs, whatever it might be. And when I say people, it can be partners, it can be family, it can be friends, it can be exes, it can be work colleagues, peers, teachers, you name it, any kind of person that you've had an interaction with. There can be a chord there if there's been an exchange of energy that perhaps has been created that isn't supportive. Remember, chords are also positive and encouraging and joyful, as well as filled with kind of draining our energy and I don't know, comparinitis or grief, sorrow, whatever it might be. Okay, so the first card is Prostitution of Self. So this is kind of, for me, it's just like, well, where you are prostituting basically your value and your integrity, your ethics on life, your morals. Where do you kind of bend on those for a certain person? Or it might be that you did in the past and you've still not let go of the fact that you did, and you're kind of beating yourself up a little bit. Maybe questioning, why have I done that? You know, not kind of forgiving yourself basically for that choice at whatever time that choice was made. And you made that choice because maybe you were in a completely different space in terms of your, you know, where you were in your life. And, you know, maybe you did the best that you could. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you kind of took a chance and it was like, okay, well, I'm just going to give this a go and see what happens. But you regret that decision. So it doesn't need to be in the present where you're prostituting yourself. You're kind of not living up to your core standards. And it might be because, you know, you there's a certain person that, you know, you kind of let off a little bit more with because, and you've made some kind of excuse, you know, because we do that. And for some people, it's going to be where you've made a choice in the past and you've still not quite forgiven yourself for that, or forgiven somebody else for that too. So this is all about prostitution of self. It's where we are not living in our full integrity, to our full values and our full morals. And so what we do is we kind of downgrade our experience, and we can kind of just come away when we make these decisions with just a slight bitter taste in our mouth, or we just feel that it just feels a bit icky, just feels a little bit off. You feel like you've let yourself down because maybe you said yes and really you meant no. And this can come down to boundaries. It can come down to our energy, how much time we give. And you know what? Our ethics and our morals and our integrity also change over time as we change over time. And it might be that you're still doing something that was okay a few years ago, but it's not okay now. And you've still not maybe communicated that fully. So now it's time to recognize where that is still playing out, but then cut chords to those circumstances, situations, and people, or that past situations, circumstances, and people, so that you feel more able to step into and fulfilling and living by full integrity, full morals, full value. And often we kind of let ourselves down a little bit because there's some fear there about communicating what people are going to think. You know, I used to let people get away with this and now I don't want to. But if we keep letting those people get away with things, or we keep saying yes when we mean no, then we are prostituting ourselves. And this card is coming up because you're ready to step out of that. literally, you're ready to step out of those handcuffs, those binds, those cords. We're ready to release those cords. So that is card one. So let me know how the card is resonating. Let me know if you have an idea where those cords are going. As I say, it doesn't need to be a person. It can be a circumstance, a situation, a belief, something that's locational, career, job. These cords can kind of get latched onto lots of different types of things. Okay, so if you pick card two as your main card, again, that whole parameter of where these cords can go to relates, but you're going to have an idea of where these cords are connected that are no longer serving you because your boundaries and your energy is not being kept clear or pristine. Your energy levels are maybe feeling drained quite a lot, maybe around a particular person, or when you go to a particular place. Just notice that if your energy gets drained when you end up going to somebody's home, or like a particular town or shop or cafe or whatever, and it's just like, I feel really low when I go into here, or after I've come out of that particular place, I feel low, I feel drained, I feel sad. Then just notice if there's any particular situations or experiences that you've had with that particular location, or it could be the people that are within that. So this is going to be where you haven't got strong boundaries, basically. Your boundaries are very flimsy or very light, and there is a need to strengthen boundaries here. And there may be a cord that is present that doesn't help you to actually communicate the boundary, uphold the boundary, or actually set the boundary in the first place. So can you think of where your boundaries, you have trouble putting a boundary in with a particular situation, around a particular situation, a person, or where your boundaries were just really not in a good place, not very clear, and this could be past. And is there still a residue that still sits with you when you think about that, I used to do this and I used to do that, and oh my God, I can't believe that people got away with this because my boundaries, maybe I didn't have very good, high self-worth at that time. Is there anything when you think about that that's still feeling tender, that there's a twinge of something, because that's telling you that there's a cord still there? And, it might be just the last little piece, but get it released, because it just means that you're pulling more energy back to yourself. So anything around boundaries and having poor boundaries, flimsy boundaries, easy to let your boundary down with this particular person because it's a family member or whatever, and I feel sorry for them. Feeling sorry for people, having pity for people is disempowering, but it's where we can really let our boundaries down because we feel that they need that favor, that they need that pity. And it's not a great energy to have a boundary not set, or to actually help or support people from that space, rather than empowering people, empowering ourselves to help people help themselves. So just popping that little last bit in there because my guides are like, we need to speak about this as well. So that's probably relating or resonating with some people as well. Okay, so card three for the cord cutting, and where this is likely to be placed, where it's likely to still be present. I picked card three, actually, and this does relate for myself. So I'm going to tune in afterwards just to see with my pendulum if there is still some cord in here. So it's releasing guilt. So where are we still guilting ourselves? And it may not be very big guilt, it could be little guilt about, again, a decision that we've made that we believe has taken us down the wrong path, and we, kicking ourselves. We wish that we hadn't done that. And still, and from my perspective, there's, we're making these decisions for us to learn whether the actual experience was really, really hard. There might have been a more easier experience to have had, but what we're learning from that experience, because we made the choice, own the responsibility of that. And are we still guilting ourselves for making that choice, being with that person, taking that job, making that decision with money? And it turned out that, you'd lost money, or trusting somebody that then did you over. Are we still giving ourselves a hard time, or giving somebody else a hard time because they made the wrong choice in your eyes, which then ended up really hurting you? So where can there be guilt released with the cord to people, circumstances, situations, jobs, work, friends, colleagues, teachers? Where are you not forgiving people? Where are you still operating from a place of guilt? And so there also can be still coming back to prostitution of self, still coming back to strengthening boundaries. Where are you still maybe letting people get away with things because you feel guilt? And that might be because you feel that you've done something to them. And so it's kind of like well, I've done this. I've maybe not told them I've done this. And so I feel guilty. So I'm going to let them away with this. And this is about cleaning up the energy between relationships, again, circumstances, situations, memories, locations, and allow yourself to release any cords of guilt where you are allowing to make choices and decisions from a place of guilt. Guilt is a low vibrational energy, and this has come up because you're ready to release cords of guilt. So clearly I've got some cords of guilt that I can release, and I'm absolutely going to do that, because we want to operate again from a place of empowerment, taking responsibility, owning our decisions and choices, and bringing where we can the frequency of love, compassion, empathy, and forgiveness. And that's what helps us to release guilt. So let me know what is coming up for you when I talk about these cords. And what you'll notice with all of these cards, and if you've got the card deck and you've picked one particular card or a couple of cards, please leave the cord out, the card out to help release those cords, in addition to the meditation. So you can just have it there in the background, releasing for you in the background. But what I would say with all of these cards as outcomes is stepping out of the handcuffs, stepping out of those bindings, getting that liberation and freedom back, connecting in with the heart, really like that beautiful passion energy, coming to the top of the steps, setting up clear energy, clear boundaries so that your energy become clear, but also moving forward, elevating your position so that that you feel better, you feel like you're moving forward, maybe getting clarity. And this is moving into a new doorway of light. We're not quite sure what's behind that door of light, but there's full trust, knowing that we are stepping into something that is better than where we are at the moment. So all of these cards have the positive outcome held within the card. Now, if you've got this bonus card that's going to give you this final piece of cording that you can also add in when you do your cord release. And this was related to money. So any money decisions, any money fears, any experiences that you have made that have meant that there's money loss, that you feel that you're spending too much money, giving yourself a hard time, you can't have a decent relationship with money because it's like a feast or famine, or you're using money as a way to comfort yourself, to cheer yourself up, but recognize that there is a deeper issue here, because then that feeling goes away. And then there's this feeling of guilt. Release any cords to money, disempowering money behaviors, money, anything that is connected to people where there has been the energy of money also, that is still feeling tainted. still feel like leaving a bad taste in your mouth that is involving money in some way. It might be connected to a workplace, might be connected again where you've given money to somebody because you trusted them, they said that they were going to do this, and they lost all of the money. And so that left you in a really difficult circumstance. And maybe you've never forgiven that person. And I'm not necessarily saying that you need to forgive somebody, but release the cords. Let's release the cords to those decisions, those circumstances. And when we say we release these cords, we're doing it for our highest good. We're doing it for the highest good of the other person. The other person isn't necessarily getting involved in this. This is all coming from us. However, if there's still lessons to be learned through those cords, you can ask for those cords to be released, but if it's not appropriate at this time, your higher self and your guides will not fully release that cord, because there's still something better that's still within that cord that is yet to be learned, yet to be experienced. So be open to that as well. Everything is always done for your highest good. So anything connected to money is what is coming through for that final cord. So if it were me, I would be just anything related to any of these four cords and how it's shown up in my experience, past, present, future, parallel timelines. Yes, absolutely, please. I'm ready to release. The meditation is going to be linked around here on the actual screen, but it's also going to be linked in the comments below. If you can't find that, let me know in the comments and I will just pop it in the comments to you so that you can absolutely do that meditation, and you can do it as many times as you want. As I've said, if you've got these cards already, use the cards as the healing portal tool also to support the releasing of those cords. And if you want to get your own deck, then again, the link is in the description. It is the Akashic Oracle card deck, and it is a modality in a box. These are really high vibrational cards. And they're not just an oracle tool, they are a healing tool as well. So have a fabulous week, releasing and dissolving all of those cords, and let me know how you get on. Love and blessings, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.